The British tank coming on now, this is a Valentine, and again, I often say overlook the Valentine. It's the one we made the most of in World War II. We actually make over 8,000 Valentines, and when we stop making them as gun tanks, they're used for lots of other roles. You know, the first DD tanks are actually Valentine tanks before they move on to the Sherman. The hull's used for the Archer in an anti-tank capacity with a 17-pounder gun on the top. So why was it important for Britain? They end up building it using components from earlier tanks. Vickers come up with the idea. They know the army wants more of these infantry tanks. We've just seen the Matilda II. They build it originally thinking the army will want another infantry tank. In fact, when the army takes it, they haven't got a specification for this tank. They're not ordering it, actually, the army, but Vickers are making them anyway. They're putting the design together. They use the suspension there. You can see the way it's the track's running. They're using it from the A9 and A10 tanks, so it's been proven, it's reliable. They use diesel bus engines in the back of it, and it becomes actually quite a successful tank. And yet again, you know, we tend to think of it, the early models with the 2-pounder gun, they are outclassed by the later German tanks, but this model, the Mark 9, you can see it's got the 6-pounder gun put on it. So they had to lose a turret crew member to get the 6-pounder squeezed in there. But again, you've now got a bit of a punch on that because the 6-pounder by Vickers to the Tank Museum, and we've sort of added some bits and pieces to make it look like a tank that had been in service in Tunisia. And if you know all your tank photos from World War II, there's a famous photograph of one of these Valentines sat on a road next to a Tiger 1. And as you see it going past there, you start realising the difference. Some of those Valentine crew members would have been fighting that Tiger 1. So you can see they needed tactics, they needed ways to get around the fact that that gun can knock them out from about 2,000 or 2 kilometres away, 2,000 metres away, and their gun is going to be lucky to penetrate something like a Tiger only from the side or the rear. So as the Valentine parks up, another classic Second World War vehicle coming on now. This is an example of the American Sherman.